morning, Willow family. Rise and shine. Let's start by taking our 3 centering breaths together. So let's begin by exhaling all the air out of our lungs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So this month's virtue is wisdom. And thinking about my childhood, in my family, we didn't talk about the virtues very often, if at all. But when I think of all the good things my mom and my grandparents and my father taught me, I realized that the virtues were there all along, running through my life like a river. My mother would wake me up every morning saying, "Rise and shine." And just that simple thing she did every day when she woke me up, I think showed many of our virtues. It showed hope, it showed generosity, it showed perseverance. My grandmother helped me write my first research paper when I was in 2nd grade, and I wrote about whales. And I remember her helping me use the simple books I had and an encyclopedia and a dictionary, and just her methodical nature and her logical way of helping me take notes taught me so much about diligence that has stayed with me my whole life. My mother makes the best pie crust. It's so flaky and delicious, and I keep trying to get it right, get it as flaky as her pie crust, and I'm not there yet. But just in showing me how to do it, she showed me patience, again perseverance, again diligence. So as you can see, I have some pictures around me. I have my mother with me and my mother's mother with her. And today I would like to read a story about a little bear and Grandma Bear, and how the grandmother teaches the little bear to use the tools he has to find the things he needs. This story is called "I Love You, Grandma." And if you look at the handwriting in the dedication, you can tell someone's grandmother gave this book to them. Little Bear and Grandma were eating breakfast. "Grandma," asked Little Bear suddenly, "why do I have such a big nose?" "To help you find food," Grandma told him. "But I just looked around and I found these berries," argued Little Bear. "Ah," Grandma replied, "food isn't always that easy to see." Grandma led Little Bear down to the river. "Can you see anything to eat?" she asked. Little Bear shook his head. "Can you smell anything?" Grandma added. "Food," answered Little Bear. "Then use your nose to find it," Grandma told him. Little Bear followed his nose to some stones on the riverbank. He turned one over. "A fish!" he laughed. "Yummy!" "Dinner," smiled Grandma. "Good job, Little Bear." "I love you, Grandma," Little Bear whispered in her ear. "Grandma," asked Little Bear suddenly, "why do I have such sharp claws?" "To help you find food," came the reply. "But you told me I have my nose for that," said Little Bear, surprised. "Ah," said Grandma, "sometimes your nose leads you to food, but you still have to work to get it. She took Little Bear to the woods. Sniff the air, she reminded him. Little Bear started to follow his nose. He stopped at a fallen tree. I can smell food, Little Bear said. I still can't see it, but I know it's there. You'll need to use your claws, Grandma told him. Little Bear dug his sharp claws into the bark. He broke off a small piece. Ants, he laughed. Delicious! Lunch, smiled Grandma. Good work, Little Bear. I love you, Grandma, Little Bear yelled. Grandma, asked Little Bear suddenly, why do I have such a long tongue? To help you find food, Grandma said at once. But you told me that I have my nose and claws to do that, said Little Bear, surprised. Sometimes the best food is hard to reach, Grandma told him. She took Little Bear to a clearing. Smell the air, Grandma said. Little Bear sniffed hard. He lifted his nose. Food, he told Grandma. A huge bee's nest hung from a branch above him. I know what to do, laughed Little Bear. Look at me, he called. He hooked the nest with his sharp claws, lifted it down and opened it up. Honey, he smiled. Supper, said Grandma, but Little Bear's big claws couldn't reach the food. So what are you going to do now? Asked Grandma. Use my tongue, laughed Little Bear. And that's just what he did. Brilliant, Little Bear, laughed Grandma. How do you know so many things, Grandma? Asked Little Bear suddenly. That's easy, Grandma smiled. When I was small, I was curious, just like you, she said. You ask so many questions. You'll soon know lots of things too. And she hugged Little Bear tight. Do you know I love you, Grandma? Asked Little Bear. I do, answered Grandma. She stroked Little Bear's sticky head. And you know I love you too, she said. So I hope you enjoyed that story. Before we sing our song together, which is You Are My Sunshine, I just wanted to make sure you guys can see the sunshine behind me. This beautiful quilt behind me was made for my daughter Belle by Miss Suzanne. So as we get ready to celebrate Mother's Day, I just don't want any of you kids out there to worry you can't go to a store and buy something for your mom, because the gift that they will treasure the most is something you make for them with your own hands. A card, a poem, a painting, a song and dance. That's what they'll love the most. So let me share a karaoke with you. I tried to pick an upbeat version of You Are My Sunshine. I know I'm kind of drawn to melancholy songs.
My sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, when I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Have an awesome day, everyone.